one of the Stanley Cup Finals is finally here. Cleveland and Montana. Who would have thought? Game one from Home Depot Arena. First time in the finals for both of these teams. Elias Lindholm and Braden Point, who's had a legendary run. We are underway in Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Here's Larkin. Passing off to Chychrun. Physical start to this period. Here's Lindholm out in front. Adam Larsson walks in, and Hellebuyck makes the save.
Well, this series is expected to be a battle of attrition. Two highly potent offensive teams. It's about whose offensive lines, whose top line can get going the most. It's Kucherov and Point, the captains leading the way here in the final.
Braden Point had a series winner in overtime in the last series. One of the most legendary games of all time. Point scoring with half a second left. And then again in overtime to send Cleveland here tonight. Here come the Miners. Larkin on his backhand knocked away by Dougie Hamilton. Now Philip Forsberg across for Braden Point. Cuts to the middle. Point with a shot. And that one shanked as he broke his stick. Now it comes up to Sanderson. Point with a good shot. And a save by Luukkonen.
That was Larkin's broken stick there. Goes to the bench.
Larkin gets a new twig. Lindholm dangles his way in. And it's blocked to the side there by Hellebuyck. Now Forsberg right across the net mouth. Top lines have been out here a while for both squads. Out in front it comes to Larkin. Chychrun tees one up. Flagged down by Connor Hellebuyck, playing in his first Stanley Cup final game tonight.
That's great forecheck work by the Miners. Kucherov takes the puck away from Point, and then they get a good chance set up for Chychrun. Hellebuyck's ready with the glove.
Dream start for the Miners. Here as they've already got 4 shots on goal. Pressing for more as Roy puts it on net. And Hellebuyck will smother it. Another shot on goal from the defenseman, Matt Roy.
Less than 3 minutes in, shots already 5-1 in favor of Montana. They've come out flying here at the start, just funneling pucks to the net, forcing Hellebuyck to make an uncomfortable save there.
Ekman wins that faceoff back to Brady McNabb, who took a 87-mile-an-hour slap shot to the nose yesterday. And we go to the hospital in Carolina. Bonefish walks in, and Luukkonen stops that with a glove. His second save, just over 3 minutes into the game.
Certainly a save there by Luukkonen. Hasn't been tested much yet, just the second shot on goal for Cleveland. I'd expect some production from Forsberg and Point. Alexi Lafreniere on the wing of that top line. He's going to have to get going. He's been very quiet throughout these playoffs.
Pekka Luukkonen has been the backbone of this Miners run. He's got a .918 save percentage. They've gone 12-3 in these playoffs, but Cleveland has proven to be a worthy opponent. Hellebuyck also above 90% save percentage. I think Cleveland has far more than 3 losses. Here's Faksa. Cleveland content to wind it up through center. DeHaan took a big hit. Now Zetterlund across the blue line. Michael Rasmussen to the net front. And his backhander rejected. Calvin DeHaan springs Coronado. Third line out here for Cleveland. Coronado dangling in as toe drag release is turned out. Now Faksa in back of the goal. Working up high. Calvin DeHaan to the net front. Coronado put it in the blue paint. And it's held out. Cam Atkinson turning it for Montana. In the middle, Oshie has it stopped. He's the only player in this series for the USCTHL Cup. Here's Parson across. Roy hindered by Faksa. Gets to the rebound. Holding back of the goal. Yegor Zamora, the Russian defenseman, working up for Radek Faksa. He's played in moments like this before. Faksa triple team to the corner, out in front. That was corralled by Logan Stanley, the big 6'7" defenseman. Amadio nudged it to Sanderson. Here come the Demons across the line. Dougie Hamilton moves in. Jordan Greenway lets it go, and that's easily stopped by Luukkonen.
Great action on both ends of the ice. Great chances, especially for Cleveland there, as they get some high-quality chances in on Luukkonen. Back and forth they go. The pressure ramping up early in Game 1.
Fourth line out here for Cleveland. Against the top for Montana as here comes Nikita Kucherov moving in, turned it over. That's Michael Amadio. He's been noticeable. He's got 3 goals in this postseason. Jordan Greenway had a goal back in Game 3 of the East Finals. Knocks over a couple of minors in the back of the goal there. Dylan Coughlin playing for Montana. He's also in the NHL Finals of Vegas. Here comes Amadio, who's won a cup with the Golden Knights. Now Larkin requested a trade from Detroit yesterday. Larkin gets it back and shooting and got blocked by Sanderson. Now Kucherov for Lindholm. In the corner, trying to work around Eklund. Larkin, Lindholm out in front. Kucherov on the backhand. It was blocked by Jake Sanderson. Now Palmieri up the right flank. Drags it to the middle, and Larson stood tall. Nearly halfway through the first period, Ray. What have you noticed so far?
Noticed really stellar goaltending, plenty of high-quality chances, but the defense has been really stellar in front of both these netminders so far.
Larson with a great steal as Palmieri tried to cut to the net.
Case in point there, Larson with a great defensive play preventing the chance.
Here's Colangelo, and it's stopped by Hellebuck. Sam Colangelo had 2 game winners in the East Finals, bidding for another goal here.
When we talk about offensive production, the fact that these top lines have to get going, so let's look at the goaltending. We've got Hellebuck and we've got Luukkonen. Luukkonen, really underrated pick to be able to carry his team through these playoffs. He's done a great job. Hellebuck, his first final. We'll see how he responds to the pressure.
Here's Tyler Johnson playing in his final series. Him and a couple other minors retiring after this run. Here's Ylonen. Now Jacob Chychrun for Ylonen. Working around. Larson tees one up. Flagged down again by Connor Hellebuck.
Hellebuck's been very good on the glove side, being able to see shots through traffic, especially a point shot like that. Great job there.
Point and McBain on the draw. Rasmussen was digging away for that one. Now Lafreniere will push the pace for Cleveland. Philip Forsberg in the slot. That's blockered down by Luukkonen. Now Chychrun. Michael Rasmussen turned it over to Brady McNabb. Both of these teams, some nerves definitely showing in their first finals appearances. McBain puts one on net, and Hellebuck will cover.
I definitely think the nerves are getting to these teams here. Great chances on both ends, but not as much opportunistic scoring. These teams are playing very constricted right now. They need to open up the game, just get settled in. They know how to play the game. Can't let the nerves get to you here.
On the draw, it's controlled by Boakfist. Second line out there for Montana. They've been stellar. There's Michael Rasmussen with a hit. He's got 12 points in 15 games for the Miners in these playoffs. Greenway spins it up high. Here's McNabb letting it go through traffic. Fine save made by Luukkonen.
It's a great play by the Demons to get it up to McNabb. He gets a great shot through traffic. Luukkonen is ready with the glove. Back and forth they go. No team with really a clear advantage in terms of physicality and chances. It's been pretty even so far.
Here's McNabb down low. Dean spinning it out in front of Mario towards the net. Luukkonen with a fine save as Dean looks for his first career playoff goal.
Fabulous save by Luukkonen, flashing the pad on a great chance by the fourth liner, Zach Dean. Doesn't score much, but he gets it in on the action there with a good chance.
Dean has never scored a goal in the USCTHL. He's on it now. Spins to the front. Oh, and Luukkonen with an unbelievable stop. Now it comes to Amadio shooting through traffic. Blocked down. What a moment that could have been for the rookie Zach Dean. But now it's the American hero TJ Oshie. Lost it as he tried to dangle around a couple of demons. Greenway is one of the Miners stepped over the bench there. That was Coughlin. Lucky to avoid a penalty. Now it's Oshie. His jersey hanging here in the USCTHL headquarters. A Stanley Cup champion with Salt Lake City. Parson into the net front. Hellebuck the save. Controls the rebound. Plays it up high. Now Oshie for Stanley moving in. Coughlin lets it go. It's blocked. Stanley holding. Here comes Parson. They work it around the horn. Stanley lets it go. Another save made. Coughlin for Atkinson. Hellebuck does the splits. The pressure ramping up here in Home Depot Arena. But Cleveland able to weather the storm, Ray.
Great chances there on the full pressure by Montana. And after Zach Dean with a great chance at the other end, the Miners go the other way. They establish an efficient forecheck, get possession, some good chances.
Now Dougie Hamilton works his way in with a shot. Easily turned out by Luukkonen. Dylan Coughlin. He's harassed, nearly turned it over to Anthony Duclair, who had a helper on Braden Point's tying goal back in Game 7. Johnson hit one off the back glass. Now Coronado wheeling through center. Foxa backhands to Hamilton. Steps around Kucherov. Dougie Hamilton. Now Heedle turned it over. Heedle had a big goal in Game 6 of the conference finals as he pins Larson to the wall. Gets it out in front for Foxa. That's blocker down. These goaltenders have been stellar to start this game here.
Really have been magnificent, and I would think it's also a combination of just lack of opportunistic play here by these teams.
Larson moving in, and he missed with the shot. Good back check by some of the Demons. As now Dougie Hamilton with a minute to go in the opening frame of the Stanley Cup Finals. Coronado out in front. Foxa has it stopped. The rebound controlled by the Miners, but Larson will sit for an infraction.
The first real test is Montana Miners against power play unlike one they've ever seen before in Cleveland. Crucial kill coming up for Montana. Cleveland, let's see what they can do with this potent power play unit. Go up by one late in the first year.
We have not had a scoreless opening period since round 2. We're just 45 seconds away from that here in Game 1 of the Finals. Forsberg for point. Couldn't get his shot through. The good work of the penalty killer TJ Oshie. 25 ticks to go in the opening frame. There's been lots of back and forth action, but nobody able to beat these netminders. As Oshie battling in the corner, he's double teamed. Great work by Oshie to kill the clock. One last rush for the Demons. Here comes Lafreniere with 2 seconds. Lafreniere puts it on net. And at the horn, a scoreless tie after 20 minutes. We'll test it again. Just to keep the speaker on.
Should I turn off these lights?
Yeah.
Let's start first. Yeah.
Small clap. You need anything, man? Thanks. You're good?
Yeah. Sure, the side is hit for.
What happened?
The side is hit for, yeah.
Oh. Why is that? It's still tied? 1-1?
No, the 2-4
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
This is going well. This is good. Bro, it's actually good.
I know.
Are you like searching up or do you have a playlist?
I got a playlist.
Yeah.
I can't search that. Bro, I wasn't ready that one
Yeah,
time. That's why
the first one, no, it's good.
I realized how fast this shit moves.
This is so much better than Jackson's. I mean, Jackson does a good job too, but
Yeah, his song choices are not good.
he starts them like with the slow part.
Yeah, I know.
Alright. I usually pick a different one to start just because we have to do that. Yeah. It's just a youth extra large. I got it from my friend Dom.
Yeah, I didn't realize I had a name on it.
Yeah.
Is there one? Does it have a name on it?
We got a name on all this. We were considering getting an OP, but
Like our old like
alright, we're going.
Where's Gordon?
Got always ready.
Go. Welcome back to Home Depot Arena, second period, Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Final few seconds on the Adam Larson Miners, still to be killed. Point wins the faceoff, we're underway. Here's Eklund, stepping across the line, lost it to Jacob Chikrin as Oshie will whip it all the way out. Look at Chikrin hustling after it. Here's William Eklund playing in his first Stanley Cup Finals. Braden Point, a two-time champion with Tampa Bay. The captain of this Cleveland team plays it across. Forsberg moves in and scores! Philip Forsberg opens the scoring in the Stanley Cup Finals.
A power play goal for Cleveland. Another one, and they just keep on rolling on the 5-on-4. Philip Forsberg through traffic. Lukinen tries to get a blocker on it, but it goes top shelf. Beats him clean. 1-0. Special teams coming through for Cleveland.
His 11th goal of this postseason. Second on the team behind the captain Braden Point. Forsberg has been outstanding. He had 2 goals in Game 1 of the East Finals. He's done it again. He's broken the ice in his first Stanley Cup Finals game since 2017. Here comes Larkin moving in. Nikita Kucherov save. Rebound, Larkin projected. Lindholm a third try. Hellebuyck elects to play it on here. Here comes Heedle across the line.
uncover. I was waiting for the whistle, and I'm like, oh, I guess.
Worked up high, Sanderson, back for Foxa. Banks it off the wall, but a miscommunication with Heedle. Now Dylan Larkin lost it to Dougie Hamilton. He moves in with help in the middle. Feeds it back for Heedle out in front. Larson with a good step. Larson and Larkin out there for Montana. A bit of a tongue twister is now McBain. Steps in the dot. Got hit hard by McNabb. Braden McNabb and Dylan Coughlin, the only players who could still win in the NHL as well. Split here in this USCTHL Finals as Coronado has it stopped by Lukin. A good start here in the second for the Demons.
They played really well. They get a goal early on the power play, and then they keep the pace going. They don't relent as they keep funneling pucks to the net, forcing Lukin to make saves, move laterally. There was one good chance, flurry of 3 shots for the Miners that they had. Hellebuck was able to make some great saves there. Dialed in so far.
Tied up on the faceoff, 2 aside, and Coughlin steps in. Springs an outlet pass to Zetterlund. Rasmussen lets it go, and Hellebuck makes his 16th straight stop of the night.
It's really about the danger chances of the shot, not the quantity of the shots. For Montana, they've gotten a lot of perimeter shots. They need to really cut to the net and get a true test in on Hellebuck here.
Here's Coughlin up high as it poked away by Forsberg. Philip Forsberg racing after it. He'll cut to the middle and get a good chance that Luukkonen had to be sharp on.
That's a star player making a star play, just getting after the puck, makes a defensive play, hustles his way up the ice and gets a good chance for an ozone draw. Great play by Forsberg.
The second line out there for Cleveland, they've been so effective as of late. Atkinson able to exit the zone safely for Montana. Slides it across to Juuso Parssinen. Here comes the big fin for Kulikov. A 2-time champion with the Panthers is stopped by Connor Hellebuck. Gold medalist with Team USA back in February. At the wall taken by Matt Roy. This way Atkinson missed it, but he able to poke it back to Kulikov. Miners winding it up. Parssinen across the line. Juuso Parssinen looking for help, and Duclair able to step in front of Roy. Now Kyle Palmieri leads it out for Cleveland. Oshie with a steal. Works in 1-on-3. He's surrounded right now, but slides it across. Another good play. William Eklund. What an outstanding start to his first Stanley Cup Finals game. Palmieri to the net front. That one was hindered. Now Palmieri gets back on it. To the net front. Greenway battling. He got slashed, it looked like. As Roy touches up, he will indeed go. The second Montana penalty of the night.
A bad penalty taken there by Montana. No need for the slash. Greenway's going for the puck in the corner. And another chance. Cleveland to double the lead. As Matt Roy will sit for 2 minutes. Montana's got to find answers on the penalty kill. You've got to tighten up, just protect the front of the net, protect the center of the ice in the offensive zone here.
Matt Roy not happy with the call, but the Miners have another penalty to kill. Not that they killed off the first one. It was Forsberg with a power play goal. Demons looking to go 2 for 2 and double the lead. Here is Ylonen. They're able to exit here early in the kill. Lindholm chips it into the corner. Philip Forsberg. Out comes Braden Point. William Eklund getting some minutes here. Lafreniere for Point. Braden Point to the net. Looking in the save. Still they poke away for it. And now Lindholm controls. It's a breakaway for Elias Lindholm. Stopped by Hellebuck. He's trying to deke to the backhand.
Great save by Hellebuck. That's crucial.
Now Ylonen moving in. Another save by Hellebuck as Ylonen looked to go 5-hole against the grain.
Hellebuck putting the team on his back. Short-handed chances. Rare short-handed chances against the potent power play in Cleveland. Hellebuck standing on his head in this game, making the saves. When the lights shine the brightest, he's played exceptionally.
Heedle and Parssinen on the face-off. In their own end, the Demons win it. They'll look to break it out with 40 ticks to go on the Roy Minor penalty. Here's Palmieri behind the back. Coronado looking for it. Palmieri with a chance. Luukkonen stands tall.
Great chances there for the Demons. They come so close, just can't finish.
Here's Colangelo winning that race. Out in front, Parsonen rejected by Hellebuck. What a great look for Juuso Parsonen.
Hellebuck just got that with the glove, just a piece.
Hellebuck has been sharp. Roy's out of the box. Duclair lets it go, and Luukkonen with a left pad save. Now Fabian Zetterlund one-on-one with Sanderson, motoring around the wing. Zetterlund cuts to the front. Sanderson shuts that down. Nice tries. Oh, there's a Demon clothesline. It's Palmieri slow to get up. Zetterlund moves in with a shot. And a save made by Hellebuck.
Physical play here as Palmieri takes a big hit. Absolutely laid out at center ice right there. Oh, massive collisions.
Larkin catches him up high.
Unlikely physical player there in Dylan Larkin, trying to turn the tide. Momentum just not going the way of Montana right now. Played well, have the shot advantage, but Hellebuck is having a stellar night.
Dean wins that faceoff. Zach Dean been so impressive for a rookie in the faceoff circle in these playoffs for Cleveland. Adam Larson hit hard by Greenland back of his own net. Demons showing off their physical play here as Zetterlund drives and had it poked away by McNabb. Dean pinned to the wall, lost it to McBain, out in front, Rasmussen, rejected by Hellebuck.
Hellebuck didn't know where that one was, it was underneath him. Fabulous save off the one-timer, had to be alert there. That puck quickly went from below the crease to above. Hellebuck has definitely been the better goalie in this game, despite being outshot. He's kept the lead to where it is.
Here's Larson, physical play right off the draw. Larkin up high, Adam Larson blockered down. Kucherov gets to the loose puck. Larkin hounded by Boqvist, up the wall, and he missed Chychrun. Comes all the way back near Luukkonen. Miners will wind it up again. They've got all their top guns out there right now. Nikita Kucherov off for Larkin. Down low, Kucherov for Larkin at the side of the net. Excuse me, that was Lindholm. Now it's worked up high to Kulikov. Roy on the one-timer. An 82-mile-an-hour shot that was blocked. And Hellebuck will cover at the side of the net. Cleveland looking to slow things down. The Miners really pressing.
Miners do a good job of keeping the puck. It's one of their strengths is when they establish possession in the offensive zone, they can keep the puck and just keep setting it around to their top guys. Kucherov, Larkin, they move the puck like few can do in this league. So that's what they really rely on in the offensive zone, is continuous puck movement, funneling shots from the perimeter.
Now Philip Forsberg. Out come the Demons, 6.5 to go in the middle frame. Fast-moving game one. One that's been dominated by these two goaltenders. Now it's Michael Rasmussen. Has 12 points in these Stanley Cup playoffs. Trying to cut to the net front. Hellebuck said no with the right pad. Driving Michael Rasmussen, a big 6'6" winger. Now Dmitry Kulikov. Content to send it in. Igor Zamula dangerously out in front, but Forsberg plays it to DeHaan. Philip Forsberg, the lone goal scorer here tonight. DeHaan for Braden Point, and he lost it. Good poke check by Matt Roy, defenseman for the Capitals. Now Zetterlund. Fabian Zetterlund had one of the most beautiful goals in the conference finals all the way back in game 3. Is now Rasmussen spinning to his forehand. TJ Oshie to the net mouth, had it poked away by Amadio. Turned over by Foxa. Here's Oshie moving in, and that one through a maze of bodies as Coronado is dumped. Parsonen right back in. The Miners just pounding the Demons right now for their first goal. Oshie up high. Conlon walks in and scores! How about that? Dylan Conlon does it again. His second goal of these playoffs, and we're tied.
The Miners just are relentless, and they go to work. Just entering the zone. The puck comes out, they re-enter. Puck comes out, they re-enter again, and eventually a shot gets through. And Hellebuck can't stop it, just unrelenting pressure. As Hellebuck eventually just slightly caught out of position, and the Miners, they get a great reward there at the end of the second period. A well-earned goal to tie this one up.
TJ Oshie, his first point in the Stanley Cup Finals in 3 years. And what a big-time goal for Dylan Conlon as Hamilton is stopped by Luukkonen. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, his 20th save of the night. Hellebuck has been equally spectacular for the Demons, but now Parsonen moving in. Juuso Parsonen stout defensive pairing out there right now for Cleveland. That's Hamilton and Sanderson. Really been the backbone of this team all year. Johnson works in 1-on-3 and just got plastered. Now Duclair up the right flank. A 2-on-1 developing. Palmieri to the net. Oh, and Luukkonen flashing the leather as Palmieri looks skywards.
Palmieri cannot believe he missed this shot. He's got all day as he cuts across the goal mouth, and Luukkonen with a windmill save to keep this game tied. Another look at that. If we can just elevate that puck a little more, Luukkonen's in a good positional spot to make that save. Stay tied at 1. A great chance for Cleveland. A good response after the Montana goal. You can sense the momentum shifting here. Spearheaded by some excellent defensive play by Luukkonen.
That's a big-time goal scorer. Kyle Palmieri at 23 in the regular season has got 7 in this postseason. And he's rejected from the low slot by Luukkonen. 1 minute to go in the middle frame. We're still tied here in Cleveland as Kucherov gets a good look. And is stopped by Hellebuyck yet again.
Under a minute to go here in the second. Wondering if we'll see these teams try to sit back defensively, just try to play conservatively and not concede a goal, or they want to push here since it's the finals. Try to get another goal on the board going into the third.
Chickering, oh, that's deflected on the way in. Out in front, Larkin! Still it's loose, and Hellebuyck flopping around in the crease. Out in front again! Kucherov digging! Trickles in on Hellebuyck. Tense moments, but Cleveland survives.
Kucherov demanding that puck on the back post. They just couldn't get it to him. He was all alone. Hellebuyck down and out. Sprawling all around the crease. This Demons just under siege late in the second here. They'll have to regroup for the third. Lindholm digging for the puck there. Just couldn't find a way to poke it in. Great chances. The Miners have really found their stride. They've really gotten back to the style of play that we're used to, that we saw out west against Arizona. Just relentless play, the ability to come back when they're down. We saw that on full display against Arizona in the conference final.
Easy to forget as they've had so much time off. Oh, what a stop by Hellebuyck. The Miners are currently riding a 4-game winning streak. A reverse sweep of Arizona after dropping game 1. Hellebuyck with another fine save at the buzzer. And yet again, another tie game to the third period here in Cleveland.
Good. This is really good. This is actually a good game. I'm getting the hang of it. I apologize.
No, this is great, bro.
You did a great job.
Thanks for helping. Come on, Demons, let's go. Ben, who are you rooting for? Cleveland? Okay. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I like Montana, but Cleveland's the fan favorite. So.
I mean, everybody loves the Miners. They won in the poll on Instagram.
Yeah.
How do you not go to the finals?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, yeah.
Well, I picked the Demons like this whole year. They're like my team.
Okay.
But I love
The
Montana.
Miners were mine. Yeah, the Miners were mine last year, and then like
That's
one bunch of
crazy
stuff
that
that they
they
weren't
had.
supposed to win. Yeah.
Yeah, this is insane. Alright, here we go. Welcome back to Cleveland. This stadium has seen some big-time hockey in recent weeks here as Point and Lindholm will duel again. We're underway in Game 1, period number 3 of the 2026 Stanley Cup Finals. Here's Lindholm sliding across. Larkin's pass is blocked down by Sanderson. It's covered by Connor Hellebuyck.
This third period, absolutely critical. Which team can get on the board first and how quickly can they do it? Is this going to be a period of defense and then one goal at the end, or will we see an offensive explosion?
Chikrin for Larson. Now Kucherov twirls it up high. Chikrin had it blocked. And it's controlled and outletted by Jake Sanderson. Pushing the pace through center and it poked away. That's a great stick by Adam Larson. Now Elias Lindholm, surrounded by a couple of Demons, slides it across. Chikrin waltzing in, and he got hammered by Sanderson. Sanderson pushing the pace here for Cleveland on a number of occasions. Out in front, Braden Point! Rejected by Luukkonen.
Luukkonen able to squeeze it with the right arm. The captain of the Demons is stopped on a good chance in close. physical play just continues to ramp up every game if that is possible. Chikrin slammed to the ice.
Second lines both out there just over 2 minutes into the third period. It's a turnover in a bad area and a breakaway. The Miners move in. Zetterlund is denied. Now Rasmussen. What a chance for Fabian Zetterlund. There he is with another blast. Had it blocked. Courageous play by Anthony Duclair. Now Palmieri content to backhand it in.
Remember that save by Connor Hellebuck.
Zetterlund was clean in. That was a key moment in this game so far. Is now McBain looking to hang on and stripped by Palmieri. That one looked like it hit someone on the Miners bench. Big play on here in Cleveland. McBain across. Rasmussen holding and it's sticked aside by Hellebuck. Now Eklund pinned to the wall, able to exit the zone. Miners look to wind it back up. Dmitry Kulikov surrounded, plays it across. That one behind the back. Looking for Roy, it was turned over. Sanderson is knocked over in the neutral zone. Now Kulikov with the late offside. Sanderson still on his knees. Roy moves in. Cam Atkinson couldn't get a shot through.
I love the way Montana started this period. They've been relentless the same way they were in the second. Just continuing to get the puck back and establish presence.
Needle of the shot. Rebound was loose. Now it's Palmieri and Oshie, controlled by the Miners. Matt Roy is out of steam, and he got steamrolled by Foxa, who moves in. Oh, he got stripped by Atkinson. Good work by Foxa as he looked to break that in. Now Parsonen missed his man up high. Getting to it is Foxa, all alone, and he's stopped by Luukkonen. Defensive breakdown for the Miners as Johnson looked to break in. Back and forth we go. Here in the third period, Johnson pulls up. Dumped by Foxa. Out in front, Hellebuck elects to cover it. 12:45 remaining.
Not sure what happened there for Montana. Miscommunication about a line change, and then Foxa is able to get to it uncontested in front of Luukkonen. He's able to make the save as Foxa tried to go 5-hole and was denied.
Fourth line's out there for both squads. Johnson wins the faceoff. Coughlin looking to tee it up, and he got bumped off the puck by Jordan Greenway. Greenway has Amadio in the middle, feeds it to him. Now DeHaan with a blast. Easily stopped, no traffic in front of Luukkonen as he makes his 25th stop of the night.
I'd like to see Greenway make a more assertive play there. Pass across for a point shot's never a bad option. At this stage in the game, you gotta make plays. Sometimes you gotta take a hit to make a play. He's gonna drive to net there, just get a more quality chance than on Luukkonen.
Now Logan Stanley up the right wing. The defenseman leading the rush for Montana, but he turned it over to Zamula. Out comes Zach Dean. What a time it would be for his first USCTHL goal. Greenway in the slot. Playing back of the goal. Now it comes up high to Zamula. Calvin DeHaan deflected over the net by Luukkonen, and he will cover it. That was a dangerous shot there by Calvin DeHaan yet again.
And got deflected in front just over the net. Luukkonen looked like he wasn't quite ready for it. Good response to the constant pressure by Montana. The Demons with some of their own chances here.
Point wins the faceoff. Here's Hamilton for Sanderson. He got it poked away by Kucherov. What a game we've got developing here in Cleveland. Alexi Lafreniere hit hard in center. The physical play just starting to ramp up. Adam Larson. Here come the Miners. Chikrin up the wing. Lindholm moving in to the middle. Jacob Chikrin save. Rebound. Colangelo on net. Still it's loose. Lafreniere hit hard. Sanderson rescues it for Cleveland, and out come the Demons. Alexi Lafreniere moves in, feeds it to point. Philip Forsberg, saved by Luukkonen. Forsberg eyeing his second of the night, and his 12th of this postseason as Johnson moves in for Montana. Tyler Johnson saved. Sanderson able to clear the rebound out of the crease. Now Dougie Hamilton across. Big guns out here for the Demons. Lafreniere moves in. Great skate in the lane there by Ylonen. He moves it back in for the Miners. Stripped by Boakfist. Had a couple of shorthanded goals in the Eastern Conference Finals as he is upended as he enters the zone. Amadio in the corner. Hit by his opposing number 22, McBain. Now it's McNabb up high. Greenway holding. Looking. Had it poked away. Feed it across. Amadio on his backhand. Here's Boakfist moving in, and a blocker save made. Dean in the corner, double team. Good work by the Miners. They hold pat and keep it tied as Zetterlund back the other way. Adam Larson on his backhand, couldn't spin it out in front. Michael Amadio. Braden McNabb, turn it to Blomqvist. He's hit. Here come the Miners with some pressure, and Allen escapes the zone ray.
That's a good forecheck there by the Miners.
Oh, Fox into the net front. That one's in between the wickets, and Luukkonen squeezes it for a whistle.
It's Cleveland's turn to be relentless as their top line had some great chances. Forsberg and Point really getting some good looks there on Luukkonen. And Montana goes back the other way, establishing a good forecheck again as they've always done. It's their signature go-to move. Get it on the forecheck and establish possession. You got to keep doing it.
Miners with a big draw win in the defensive zone. This is Juuso Parssinen on the third line out there for Montana. Oshie had it stopped. Third line was out there the last time they scored as Kulikov's bid is stopped by Hellebuck. Long outlet pass goes all the way down, no icing. Roy retrieves it from Montana. TJ Oshie lost it at the blue line. Product of War Road, Minnesota. Stanley Cup champion in both the NHL and the USCTHL as Luukkonen has another stop.
Shots are now 40-31 in favor of Montana. It's an improvement for Cleveland. They were down by an even larger deficit. They found some of their game back. Really just trying to match the intensity that Montana keeps bringing to the table.
Coughlin had it poked away. Eklund driving. Here's Duclair. Along the kick plate, working around the Palmieri. He gets upended. That's Logan Stanley. Talked about the big Miners defenseman with a big hit there. Johnson cradling on his backhand, trying to cut to the middle. Works it around Eklund. Still pinned along the wall. In the corner, it's Yolonen. Great battle by the Miners. Stanley on net. Tipped wide by Yolonen. What an opportunity.
Just wide.
Great shot for a deflection there by Stanley as now Duclair moves in. 2.5 to go in a tie game. Eklund digging and he missed. Now up high, Sanderson tees one up. That's off a leg and Luukkonen will cover.
Thanks. Down to the wire. Just about 2 minutes to go in this game. What do these teams have left to offer? And we will see overtime.
You won't find it any other way in these USCTHL playoffs. Great action here yet again. Palmieri scores! Kyle Palmieri gives Cleveland the late lead!
This place is rocking! Palmieri brings energy to the building. It's electric at Home Depot Arena. The Demons lead it 2-1 in Game 1. Can they hold on and take Game 1 in the Stanley Cup Final?
His 8th of the postseason, Kyle Palmieri has been an unsung hero for these Demons. And Cleveland is under 2 minutes away from their first ever win in the Stanley Cup Finals.
What a moment for this fan base. You can just feel the passion.
Riding that momentum from an unbelievable win in Game 7 just 2 days ago, the Demons find themselves leading late. And as we know, no lead is safe in these playoffs, so the Demons pressing again. Here's Sanderson down low, poked away by Luukkonen. Great work by Kulikov as he cleared out the loose puck. Now Lindholm. Delayed offsides taken down. Forsberg, final minute to go, Game 1. Jake Sanderson, there's a penalty coming up. Oh no, Larkin is going to go to the box for a cross-check, and that is really detrimental to the Miners' chances.
Penalty could not have come at a worse time. Larkin takes a very unnecessary cross-check. And never count out these Miners, but now you really got to take a look at the reality here. At best, they'll have a 5-on-5 if they pull Luukkonen. Again, never count them out, but it's a really uphill climb for these Miners if they want to force overtime.
That's a really undisciplined penalty there by Larkin. Gets up in the head and neck area of Forsberg. Clear cross check. The referees do the right thing. They call it. And it's going to be an uphill battle for the Miners. Lafreniere with a shot, nearly 100 miles an hour. Looked like a Tage Thompson shot there. Now Hedel. Hedel for Palmieri. Lafreniere for Hedel. Former teammates in New York. Back down low for Coronado. Spins to the net from Palmieri. Another chance. And Luukkonen, remember that save. Tyler Johnson. Luukkonen comes to the bench. Johnson walking in. Shooting. And Hellebuck squeezes it up near his shoulder.
It'll be 5-on-5 as they take this face-off. No goalie for Montana. Can Cleveland get the puck and ice this game? What does Montana have left?
An empty net for the Miners. They lose the face-off. Duclair controls for Cleveland. Here is Coronado with the net empty. Taken away by the Miners. What do they have left in the tank? Parsonen up the left flank. To the middle. It's blocked. Duclair got in the lane. Palmieri with 10 seconds to go. The net is empty for Kyle Palmieri. Cleveland is going to win game 1 off a 2-goal third period by Kyle Palmieri.
Cleveland will take game 1 in a game which they've withstood a constant barrage of pressure from Montana Miners. It just wasn't enough to beat Connor Hellebuck in this one. And what a series we got on our hands here. Fighting for Lord Stanley, the two best teams in this league.
Cleveland, a city who hasn't had Major League Hockey since 1978, back with the Cleveland Barons, has now got the Cleveland Demons about to take a lead in the Stanley Cup Finals. 3 seconds to go. Game 1 goes to the Demons.
Connor Hellebuck, the star of game 1.
Forsberg with his 11th, Kyle Palmieri with his 8th and 9th goals, and Connor Hellebuck was the #1 star of this game. Cleveland 3 wins away from hoisting Lord Stanley.
Yeah!
Oh!
Yeah, Cleveland.
Great job on the goal. Good work, guys.
Yeah. Great all-around effort, fellas.
Awesome.
Dave, you have to